Mike, Brian Kenny here. Thank you for joining us.
Okay, Brian, how's everything?
Good. Mike, I know, let's start. You've been doing this for a while, but what is the difference in mindset? Because, first of all, congratulations. I know people look at, the playoffs as everything, but you guys won 98 wins, 98 games last year. Congratulations on that. Tell us about the mindset coming off of that level of success.
Well, it's certainly, I guess, good and bad, good news, bad news last year, and obviously 98 wins. We played great baseball down the stretch in a pennant race and just really separated ourselves from the other teams, and that was fun to watch. But that bad taste of losing 3 straight in the playoffs is something took a little time to get over. But seeing how, just seeing how the core of our team is still there, it's exciting. I think we do a lot of things to press the action. It's a fun team, and hopefully we're going to be able to do some of the things we did last year again this year and get off to a good start. Hopefully have the same kind of regular season.
And, Mike, you blew everybody away without Garrett Richards. That was after he got hurt. We've heard reports here and there. How is he doing right now?
He's coming along. Garrett is probably on the better end of the window we were given. I think that he hasn't had any setbacks, which is great. You always just wonder if it's going to work, keep going as smoothly as it is. If it does, he's going to be ready to pitch for us very, very early in the season. I think we want to make sure he's obviously 100% bouncing back the way he needs to be and getting him stretched out. It's going to take a little bit of time. But we're very encouraged that he's going to be with us.
All right, well, that's great news for you guys. Mike Scioscia is with us of the Angels. Big trade for your club in the offseason, Mike. Howie Kendrick, steady contributor going to the Dodgers. What happens at second base?
Well, we've got a couple guys. I think probably about 3 guys that we're going to look at. Obviously, a guy like Grant Green, who's been in our organization, is going to be a candidate. Rutledge came over from Colorado. We picked up Johnny Giavotella from the Royals organization. And a young Rule 5 guy named Featherston, who is a guy that's very, very athletic and exciting. And then, I think in-house we have this kid Yarbrough that can really swing the bat, who hit well in Double-A last year. We have some guys coming that we feel are going to be able to play second base and do it at the level we need. And, first thing is defense. We need somebody out there that's going to combine with Eric Ibar and do the things we need to do up the middle of the field.
What are your expectations for Josh Hamilton, Mike?
Well, we'll see about Josh. Obviously, he's, the couple of years we've had Josh, it hasn't gone the way it's scripted. He's going to miss part of the opening season with the surgery he had on his AC joint. So we'll just take it one day at a time with Josh and see where he's ready to go, and hopefully do some of the things that we know he can do.
Yeah, and your outfield is obviously still solid. A specific question about Mike Trout, because his on-base went way down, his walks went down, his power went up. He's still good on the bases, but he didn't steal as much. So you tell us, what kind of player will Mike Trout be this year?
Well, I think Mike Trout, you're not going to hit your peak numbers every time you're out there, and I don't think Mike plays for numbers. He was the most valuable player, certainly in our league, and no doubt in our team about how he helped us to win. So I don't know if you're going to evaluate Mike Trout just with numbers. I think the fact he set the bar so high his first couple of years, there's going to be times when maybe you're not going to reach some of those milestones every year that people look at. But he knocked in more runs. He scored a tremendous amount of runs, and I think that's what you look at for the production of the player. And Mike was there for us. Besides playing Gold Glove caliber defense, he's just an all-around player that is as good as anybody I've ever seen on a baseball field. So I think that we're not going to sit back and evaluate Mike just by numbers because the bar set so high. But even if you look, you can look at maybe a little decline in some of his numbers. You talked about stolen bases. I think as he gets as he gets more comfortable with seeing some pitchers, there was a lot of slide steps against him last year, which maybe controlled him a little bit more than he had been a year or two before. But he's a smart base runner. He's going to steal bases, and he's going to have a huge impact on our club.
This is kind of a classic case of, like, which would you rather have? Because you might have both or either. Like, he can do either. Like, what is more important or what's more rare, Mike, to have a table setter, top of the lineup, guy who can flat out run, get on base, or a guy who hits for power, sacrificing a little bit of that on base and stolen bases? Because he might be able to do either. Which one is more valuable in baseball?
Well, you certainly need a combination of both. You need the guys that are getting on base for the guys that are going to be able to drive the ball. Mike's in a unique position because he's really, he's a swing player. He's a guy that sets the table, but he's a guy you need to set the table for, and that's why we moved it down to the second order. We got him many more opportunities to hit with runners in scoring position last year than he did leading off. And eventually he's going to settle in the middle of the lineup and be that number 3 hitter. He can hit, and the fact of where Mike's numbers end up and what I love about Mike is he's not up there at the plate thinking about doing anything but having a great at-bat. And whether it's taking a pitch to make the pitcher work or going out there and understanding he's got to hit the ball in right field to move a runner over, he plays baseball. And all these numbers fall into place for him. So, he's definitely our best table setter on the team, and he's the guy with the most power. So he's a unique player.
Mike, we were talking about run scoring, record-breaking number of strikeouts, singles are down, walks are down. What do you think from your vantage point in the dugout? Should something be done, or do you let the game kind of flow on its own?
Well, I think some things, Brian, are cyclical, and I don't think there's anything drastic that I would do with the game. I think probably about maybe 15 years ago when Sandy Alderson was in the commissioner's office, they had an intent to just unify the strike zone. I think they did a good job of that. Mm-hmm. The strike zone's a strike zone. We don't need to change it. We just need to define it and make sure that it's applied every game, and let the players win and lose the games. I don't see anything needs to be done drastically with baseball. I think that strikeouts are up in part because I think there is a culture out there that on a lot of clubs that just don't feel a strikeout's anything more than another out. I know our organization has a different philosophy on that, but I know that some organizations just take a strikeout as an out, and maybe that's the way they're going to go about the business. So they don't really look at the walk strikeout ratio and things that I know the other side of the coin are important. So I don't think anything needs to be done drastically. I think that it's on some of it is on the makeup of the team, some of it is on the makeup of the bench. We've got many more power bullpens now throughout the league, and I think that template is something that any team that wants to contend wants to do what the Royals did or what we've done over the years. And we have that power bullpen that just shuts down a team. And on the other side, of the offensive team, you need to match up against those bullpens. You need to have maybe that good left-handed guy that can set the table, come up, or get a bunt down, or put a runner in motion. So the probably the last 3 or 4 guys on your roster that are making your bench up become very, very important. And some teams maybe don't have the resources to go out and get some of that depth they need on the bench, and so therefore games are it's tougher to generate some offense when you can't match up.
Mike, one last thing quickly. Do you think there is now going to be a wave of players, or would you want a wave of players, I don't know, like 1960s guys, contact, singles hitting, spraying to all fields, given the shift, the strikeouts, like maybe there's some advantage to be gained with that wave of player, that type of player?
You need the balance, Brian. I don't think we've ever gotten away from that type of player being important, the guy that is going to put the ball in play, the guy you can put a runner in motion in front of and know he's going to put the ball in play and maybe get a first and third situation for your club. I don't think we've gotten away from that. You do need balance, but like I said, maybe some teams are slanted a little bit too far the other way where they're piling up the strikeouts as opposed to having that balance. I know in the Angel organization we have that in high regard, and we look for that balance of guys that can drive the ball and guys that are going to be able to set the table and move it around. And I think you'll see some teams trying to find that.
All right, Mike Scioscia, again, of the Angels, 98 wins last year. Mike, congratulations on the season. Best of luck as you hit spring training. Thanks for joining us.
Okay, Brian, thank you.